Living in Gulf Shores, Alabama is about to look a little different. Big changes are coming in 2025, changes that will affect families, retirees, business owners, and anyone thinking about moving here. I'm Jessica. I'm a realtor with EXP, and I know a few of y'all have been asking where Tony's been because I've been the one shooting videos. No, he's not out on the golf course. I know, shocker. Just kidding. He's actually been running around. We've been helping so many families get down here to Lower Alabama. We've been meeting with tons of families and retirees all summer long, giving them the scoop on the real estate market and living here in Lower Alabama. It honestly hasn't slowed down either. We've entered the fall market and there's been an uptick in folks wanting to relocate here, which isn't the same for the rest of the country. Our market is extremely active still. Just last week, we helped families from Missouri, Georgia, Illinois, and New York all close on their new homes down here in Alabama. So if you're thinking about making a move, there's a link below to schedule a call with us. And now back to the scheduled program. For years, Gulf Shores has been known as a vacation spot with white sand beaches, fishing, boats, and small town charm. But in the past few years, word has really gotten out that this isn't just a great place to vacation to, it's a great place to live year-round permanently. We've got families moving here for the schools, retirees settling down here for the warm weather, and outdoor lovers who want year-round adventure. So the growth, it is accelerating. Now today, I'm going to break down the top changes that you need to know about if you're considering a move to Gulf Shores or anywhere along the Alabama Gulf Coast in 2025. So let's dive in. The first big change, after decades of planning, Gulf Shores has finally got its own commercial airport. There's always been a private airport, but a commercial airport, now this is big for Baldwin County. On May 21st, 2025, Allegiant Flight 1403 touched down at Gulf Shores International to water cannons and cheering crowds, the first commercial flight to ever land on Alabama's Gulf Coast. It was a moment 30 years in the making, and honestly, it felt more like a football championship celebration than a Wednesday afternoon at the airport. Up until now, if you lived here and needed to fly somewhere, your options were drive an hour to Pensacola, 2.5 hours over New Orleans, or Hope Mobile had the flight that you were looking for. Allegiant is offering 6 direct flights to cities like Knoxville, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Houston, Kansas City, and Fayetteville, as well as seasonal routes to Wisconsin, Arkansas, and Iowa, which are coming later this year. And those flights are going to be for as low as $59 for a one-way. I know my husband Tony is excited for those Wisconsin flights so he can go up north, catch a Packers game, and then come back down where it's nice and warm. This airport means easier family visits, easier getaways for locals, and even more people discovering our Gulf Coast. But let's be real, with growth comes changes. More flights mean more air traffic, more cars on the road, and more pressure on infrastructure. The city knows this, which is why they're already expanding Highway 59 to 3 lanes and adding new access roads straight to the airport. Noise management and traffic flow are big parts of the plan, but residents should expect some growing pains. I know a lot of locals and travelers are excited because Lulu's has also landed at the Gulf Shores International Airport. Lucy Buff, its beloved coastal restaurant famous for its fresh seafood, beachy energy, and a world-class allergy-friendly menu, it opened up a new store right inside the terminal. So Lulu's grab-and-go airport store is like your last chance for a snack, a drink, or a quick meal fresh from Lulu's kitchen. They're going to have my absolute favorite, which is a smoked tuna dip. They're also going to have their LA caviar, grilled chicken wraps, key lime pie, and tons of small items. So when you're waiting to board, you'll be able to grab a bite, sip something cold, and snag one last souvenir. Now here's the other side of all this, and something people aren't always talking about. Cost of living and housing. More visitors and exposure means higher demand for real estate. This is great if you already own a place down here, but tough for first-time buyers or renters as prices are starting to climb. Are we going to lose the small town feel? Part of Gulf Shore's charm has always been that it felt like a small hidden gem. With direct flights from multiple cities, this secret might not last much longer. You'll have to expect busier beaches, longer waits at restaurants, and possibly a faster pace. And if you didn't know, Allegiant is a budget carrier. The $59 fares are appealing, but remember, everything costs extra: bags, seat selection, even boarding early. It's affordable, but not exactly a luxury experience. So Allegiant is really testing the waters here. If the flights don't fill up, routes could be cut, and that means locals and businesses who are counting on this influx of travelers also need to be prepared for ups and downs. On the business side, though, the impact is already being felt with thousands more tourists flying directly here. Therefore, more people are dining in, more shoppers, and more jobs. This airport has already been a major investment, from the $8 million two-gate terminal to the expanded runways and the control tower that opened in 2021. Local leaders called this a vision 3 decades in the making, and now it's finally a reality. Gulf Shores International puts our area on the map in a whole new way, allowing for opportunity and convenience. But for the locals, it's going to feel like the secret's out even more than it already is, and the quiet beach town vibe may be harder to hold on to. Either way, this is just the beginning, and if you've been thinking about buying here, now is the time, because growth like this only pushes demand higher. So the second big change is all about the families, and that's the brand new $131 million Gulf Shores High School. Here's some quick context. Back in 2019, Gulf Shores broke away from Baldwin County and formed its own independent school district. That's rare in Alabama, but it's allowed the city to focus directly on what Gulf Shores families need. Right now, there are about 2,400 students across the elementary, middle, and high school and virtual academy. But with our current population booming, the old high school wasn't going to cut it anymore. This new campus changes the game. At 287,000 square feet, it's designed to educate over 1,000 students when it opens for the 2020-16 school year. And it's master planned to nearly double capacity as the community keeps growing. But what makes it special isn't just the size. This design team, the architects, the city leaders, teachers, parents, and even the students, they've all spent more than 2 years studying some of the best schools in the entire country. So they built this high school around collaboration, innovation, and hands-on learning. We're talking about an industry-grade music production lab, a 4,200 square foot engineering lab. There's also a biomedical and marine biology lab. They have cutting-edge culinary labs. There's also a dedicated art and broadcast center. On the fine art side, there's a state-of-the-art performing arts center that won't just host student plays and concerts, but also community events year-round. And for sports, the new Dolphin Athletic Center will include 2 competition-sized gymnasiums, tiered meeting rooms, athletic training facilities, and a brand new 18,000 square foot field house with an athletic performance center. Plus, there's a covered 110-yard practice pavilion that will give athletes year-round training opportunities and also give them some shade while they're playing outside. And we need all the shade we can get down here because it is sunny. Those UVs do not mess around. This project has become bigger than it just being a school. It's now a community cornerstone. As Mayor Kraft said, our schools belong to every person in this community, and we're excited to create unmatched educational experiences for our kids while hosting incredible events for everyone to enjoy. The parents and the teachers are excited. Even local businesses are excited because schools like this attract families, staff, and investment. And all of this sounds amazing, but remember, construction takes time. That means traffic, shifting campuses, and some transition years while the district reorganizes. But long term, this is about more than just reducing overcrowding. It's about preparing Gulf Shores students for careers in health and engineering, culinary, the arts, all while building a sense of pride and community. So this new Gulf Shores High School, it sends a clear message. Gulf Shores isn't just a vacation town anymore. It's a place where families can put down roots and know their kids will have opportunities on par with, if not better than, bigger cities. Okay, the third change is the new pedestrian bridge at Waterway Village. And honestly, this one is close to home for a lot of us. If you've ever tried crossing Highway 59 on foot or on bike, you know it hasn't exactly been safe or easy. When the pedestrian lane came out during the highway expansion, locals were frustrated, but the city truly listened. And now we've got a brand new 7-story pedestrian bridge coming that will span the Intracoastal Waterway with elevators, bike access, and full accessibility. Families won't have to dodge cars. Bikers can cross safely to both sides of Gulf Shores, the mainland and the inland. The mainland and the inland will finally be tied together in a way that feels people-friendly. But here's where it gets even bigger. This isn't just a pretty walkway in the sky. It's part of a $52 million ALDOT infrastructure project. Crews already set this big steel beam in place, I think, this past summer, which if you've driven past, you've definitely noticed the work being done. The whole thing is moving fast with the bridge deck and barrier rails going in now. If everything stays on track, it should open by summer 2026. And it's not going to stand alone. The SR 161 connector project at the widening of Canal Road are also scheduled to finish around the same time. When that all comes together, the Beach Express capacity will basically double from 7 lanes to 10. That means less time sitting in traffic on 59 in July, quicker hurricane evacuations when we need them, and even faster response times for emergency vehicles. Now, I'll be honest, not everyone's cheering this on. Some people worry construction will drag on, which it tends to, or that adding lanes will just mean more cars, not less congestion. And yeah, I get it, but most locals agree that it is long overdue. We've all sat in those Saturday check-in traffic jams where you can practically count the out-of-state license plates. So I'm excited for this project. This is about making the experience more manageable for both visitors and the people who live here year-round. And on a lifestyle level, I think this is one of the most exciting changes. Waterway Village already has restaurants, shops, and live music. Imagine grabbing dinner on one side, walking over to a concert on the other, all without worrying about traffic flying by. It's going to make the area just feel like a true entertainment hub, not just a spot you're driving past to every time you go to the beach. This is the kind of project that changes how people experience the city: safer crossings, easier traffic flow, more connected neighborhoods. It all points to Gulf Shore stepping into its next chapter. And when it's finished, we're going to look back and wonder how we ever managed without it. Maybe some of us will. Okay, change number 4 is happening right in the heart of Gulf Shores. The beach walking district is getting a major facelift, and at the center of it is the new Embassy Suites by Hilton Gulf Shores Beach Resort. This isn't just another hotel project. It's the largest development Gulf Shores has ever seen. At $140 million, the 8-story Embassy Suites brings 257 all-suite guest rooms, many with direct Gulf views. So inside, there's going to be a full-service spa, fitness center, and 3 restaurants, from the poolside Cove Bar to the signature Tide-In table, which blends coastal dining with a southern twist. There's also going to be Starbucks and 7,600 square feet of retail space, so it's already drawing in locals for their morning coffee runs. But the real anchor here is the 13,000 square feet of meeting space, including a 1,700 square foot ballroom. For years, the city has wanted another conference-ready site to complement the lodge at Gulf State Park, and this finally delivers. With the ability to host conventions, business meetings, and large events right across from the public beach, Gulf Shores will see visitors not just in the summer, but year-round. That means steady foot traffic for local businesses and a stronger, more diversified economy. The city officials see this as exactly the type of project envisioned in Vision 2025. Gulf Shores has already invested $2 million into sidewalks and road improvements around the site, making the district more pedestrian-friendly, more bikeable, and more connected. So this isn't just a hotel, it's the start of a true beachfront hub. And here's what makes it different. It isn't only for out-of-towners. The Soundwave rooftop is designed for daily live music with sweeping Gulf views. The restaurants and bars are open to the public, giving residents new spots to gather, catch sunsets, concerts, or celebrate milestones. And locals may never book a room, but they're already planning evenings at the restaurants and weekends on the rooftop. And that's the real story. It's not just about more hotel rooms. It's about reshaping how both the locals and visitors are able to experience the area here. So projects like this are moving Gulf Shores beyond being a summer-only beach town, and they're positioning it as a year-round destination for something for everyone: tourists, business travelers, and the community that calls it home. Okay, change number 5 is taking us right next door with a big win for families and sports fans, and that's the brand new Orange Beach Athletic Complex. Okay, so for years, Orange Beach student athletes have been making do with borrowed spaces and improvised practice areas. It's no secret there's been times where basketball teams squeeze into the middle school's gyms, wrestlers didn't even have a proper mat room, cheerleaders were practicing wherever there was an open spot. And believe it or not, the weight room has literally been in a converted storage unit at times. Well, all of that changes now. The city invested over $46 million into a state-of-the-art complex, and it's going to be opening soon. We're talking about a 3,500-seat football stadium, a 1,200-seat competitive gymnasium, a 2-story kinesiology and exercise science building, and an 8-lane track, as well as a multi-purpose pavilion. The timing couldn't be any better. The Makos football team will kick off their very first game in the new stadium. The volleyball team will host their inaugural match in the new gym. For the students, this isn't just about playing sports. It's about school pride. It's about walking into facilities that make them feel valued, supported, and capable of competing at the highest level. For families, it's about having a place to gather on Friday nights to celebrate wins and rally after losses and to make memories that stick for generations. And for the community, this is about more than athletics. Superintendent Randy Wilkes put it best: 80% of Orange Beach students will benefit directly from these facilities. That's almost every single kid, whether they're playing football, running track, cheerleading, wrestling, or just working out in the new performance center. Now, not everyone is on the same page about it. Some people question whether $46 million should really go towards athletics. But as Mayor Tony Kennan put it, anything that benefits our children benefits our community as a whole, and I couldn't agree more. At the end of the day, projects like this aren't just about new turf or shining bleachers. They're about giving kids opportunities, building community pride, and making Orange Beach a place where families want to plant roots. And if you've ever been to a Friday night football game in Alabama, you know it's not just a sport, it's a culture. And now Orange Beach finally has a stadium and complex worthy of that tradition. Okay, before I wrap this one up, let's talk about how all these changes are showing up where it hits closest to home, and that's real estate. The latest numbers from Baldwin Realtors show that the resort market, that's Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, and Fort Morgan, are all booming. In July, the average sales price for beach area properties was just over $800,000, which is up more than 6% from last year. Total sales volume jumped 54% year over year. In translation, more people are buying at the beach and they're paying more for it. Traditional residential homes inland are still strong, but a little more balanced. Prices are up about 3%, averaging around $420,000, but sales volume actually dipped compared to last year, and homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. So if you're looking at Foley, Robertsdale, or the Eastern Shore, you're still seeing steady growth, just not the frenzy we're watching on the coast. For locals, this is one of those double-edged swords. On one hand, rising values are a good thing if you already own property. Your investment keeps appreciating. Now, on the other hand, it makes getting into the market tougher for first-time home buyers or young families. And it's not just buyers, investors and second homeowners are still a huge piece of this puzzle. Beach condos sold at nearly $800,000 on average, with demand being driven by people who want vacation rentals or long-term investments. That pushes competition higher, especially in the resort zones. Now, will this pace continue through the end of 2025? That's the million-dollar question. Inventory is ticking up, which could help balance the market, but with the airport opening right now, new schools, big infrastructure projects, and a national spotlight on Gulf Shores, this demand isn't going anywhere. So whether you're a local wondering how this affects your neighborhood or someone thinking about buying into Gulf Shores or Orange Beach, the message is the same. This market is alive and moving. Like we've been saying all along, growth here isn't slowing down, it's picking up speed. And that's a wrap on the big changes coming to Gulf Shores in 2025. If you're thinking about moving here, retiring, or just curious about what's ahead, one thing's clear: this little slice of the Gulf Coast is growing fast, and the best time to get in is before everyone else figures it out. If you're ready to call this place home, reach out to us today. Call, text, or email. We are the ones who answer that phone, and we're ready to help you find your new home in Lower Alabama. Again, I'm Jessica. We are the #1 relocation team, and we look forward to talking to you.